Good afternoon to all. A very happy Shivratri. Welcome to Tally CA Connect. So we have a new speaker to our forum. Please welcome Mr. Gautam Kumar Sharma. Gautam ji is a practicing advocate in the field of direct and indirect taxation and accounting. He specializes in business and office automation. Over the last 5 years, his firm has helped thousands of businesses across India automate and optimize their tally processes and accounting. So it was his idea that with the financial year coming to end, it would be great to discuss how to automate year-end reports using TallyPrime, ODBC, and Excel Power Query. So thank you, Gautam ji, for taking the time to take a session at Tally Forum and for this great idea to address our CA Connect. So thank you so much. And we have a great audience. We already have 200 people joining at 3 p.m. So a request to the audience, please do not raise the hands. Please put in your queries in Q&A and chat so that we can keep a track of it and make sure to answer all the queries. So over to you, Gautam ji.
Thank you. Thank you for the fantastic introduction. Good evening to all. This is my first ever session for Tally CA Connect, and I hope you all will enjoy and you all will learn something new, that how we can automate the things related to year-end reports in Tally. And let me now share my screen. Please confirm whether my screen is visible to all.
Yeah, this Excel sheet is visible.
Yeah. So today we are going to discuss some topics, and the topics are basically we will discuss. Yes, please. Shall I continue?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today we are going to discuss some topics which are related to year-end automations and how in a CA office or in your business, there are a lot of things that you can do automate in your Tally using Tally ODBC and some things using Tally XML data and Power Query. So one by one, we will discuss the following topics. The topics are mentioned here on my screen. First topic is auto ledger creation via XML. So in a CA office or in all the offices where the office are engaged in completely accounting task and accounting services, there is a very common problem. And the problem is wherever a new company we have to create, then there are a lot of ledgers that we have to create again and again. The ledger can be rent expenses, it can be bank charges, it can be printing and stationery expenses, and so on. It can be GST ledgers. Okay. So first of all, we will see how we can automate creation of ledgers automatically in TallyPrime without any TDL, and this feature is of default Tally. Okay. So for this, what we will do, let me show you a existing data. Here I have created a existing Tally data where there are sets of ledger, that is audit fees, bank charges, bank interest expenses, GST, commission income. You can see packing charges with multiple GST tax rate wise, 12%, 18%, 28, 5, and so on. Similarly, there are printing and stationery expenses, purchase account. There is a common purchase account also where in case we have to configure the GST details in part stock item level. So in that case, we all are using common purchase account without any tax configuration. Okay. And if we have to maintain the tax rate in purchase ledger level, then in that case, we have to maintain or we have to specify the details here as shown on the screen in ledger level. So what I have done is I have created a dummy company, and in that dummy company, I have created all this ledger one time. Okay. And not only I have created, also I have created a specific group for each ledger. And now, next time when I'm going to create any new company, I don't have to create all this again and again. How? For this, what we can do, we can export the XML of masters and then we can re-import in multiple companies wherever it is required. Okay. So in order to export the XML and to re-import in a new company, I'm going to show you the steps, what we have to do. First of all, we have to go to our display more reports from our gateway of Tally. In display more reports, there is an option statement of accounts. We have to go there and then we can go to statistics. Now in statistics, we can see the number of groups, the number of masters, like it can be ledger master, group master, stock item master, any kind of masters. Okay. So here in ledger, there are a lot of ledgers that we have created. So what we have to do, we have to simply go to this export and then we have to click on current. After that, we have to go to this configure option by pressing C and then wait. Sorry, I'm repeating once again. We have to go to this export and from export, we have to select masters because we want to export the masters of this company. Okay. Now from this master, we have to go to this configure by pressing C and then we have to select type of master. What kind of master do we want to create again and again in the new company? So here we can select the ledger, but it's better if you can select all masters because it is a dummy company which is having only list of masters for the ledger level. Okay. So I'm selecting all masters and then you can click on include dependent masters also if required. And then the file format. The file format should be XML only. After that, what you have to do, you have to select the folder path where you want to export this XML. So in my case, I'm going to export it in the desktop only. And the file name will be masters.xml. And now by pressing Ctrl A, I'm saving this configuration. And then I'm clicking on export. So once we are exporting the XML, we can see the XML is now present in my desktop. Okay. Now, what we will do, we will import it in a new company. So for that, I'm creating a new company with the name import master. And then I'm selecting the state and I'm pressing Ctrl A to skip other details. As of now, I'm ignoring this GST configuration or any other configuration at features level. Now, we are on the gateway of Tally. Now, in gateway of Tally, in order to import the XML, what we have to do? We have to click on this import button. But before going to that import button, let me show you when we create a new company, there are only two ledgers, cash and profit and loss. That is by default in Tally. Okay. So what we will do to create all the ledgers automatically, we will go to this import. Under import, we will go to this master. Here we have to select the type as XML and then we have to select the location of our XML where we have saved the XML. So our XML is saved on the desktop. So I'm selecting the desktop and then I have to select the master.xml file. Now it is asking me what I have to do with that import behavior. So always choose modify with new data. And then you have to select whether you want to take a backup of the company before importing any masters or anything in Tally. If you are having any existing data in the company, it is recommended to make it yes and take the backup. But in my case, as it is a new company, so I'm making it no, and I'm just importing the masters. So you can see import completed successfully. This message is coming on my screen. And now if I'm pressing escape button and I'm going to alter and ledger, so all the list of ledgers are here. And randomly, if I'm making any ledger, if I'm selecting any ledger, so you can see the group is also there. And whatever GST configurations I have given in that old company before exporting the XML, all that same configuration is captured here. Okay, it has been copied from the XML. So this was the first use case for all the offices, for all the businesses who are watching this video and who are watching, who are on the webinar. It is a very tedious job to create all the ledgers again and again. So with this process, easily you can import all these masters from one company to another. This process can be used for multiple use cases. For example, after year end, when you have to split your data, or you have to, sometimes you are making a new company and you are creating all the ledgers there. So what you can do, from the old company, you can export the XML, and in the new company, you can just import that XML file. So what will happen? All the masters, all the details of the old company will be copied to the new company. So that way you can just save your time and you can automate this task. Okay. Is there any query up to this?
There are no queries in the chat as of now.
Okay. So moving ahead to the next topic, interest calculation and Excel to Tally import. So as this is the end of year, someone is asking once again, sir, can you please type what I have to repeat? Okay. If their message come, I will repeat the topic. Moving ahead, interest calculation and Excel to Tally import. So now, as this is the year-end time, so unsecured loan is a very common thing in all the balance sheets for all the clients. So before the end of year, what we have to do, we have to calculate the interest on unsecured loans, and then we have to calculate the TDS, and we have to make the closing entries. So how we can automate this in Tally? So in default Tally, there is an option where we can calculate the interest. Okay. So in order to calculate the interest, we will see how we can do that. I'm going to show you a data where there will be some sample data of this one, interest calculation. Okay. So here in this company, there are some dummy data where under unsecured loans, you can see there are some ledger. Some ledgers will be having opening balances, some will be having some transactions. Okay. To check that, what we can do, we can go to this configure F12 button, and then we have to make it show opening balance as yes and show transaction as yes. And then we have to press Control A to save the configurations. Now you can see the ledgers which are having opening balances are this one. And this ledger, Mr. C, is having some transactions during the year, and they are having some closing balance as well. Okay. So now to calculate interest in Tally, what we can do, first of all, we have to go to features. For going to for selecting the features option, we can press F11 button, or we can press Control Alt K, not Control Alt K, and there we can select features. Okay. Here you can see there is an option, enable interest. You can see enable interest calculation. We have to make this option as yes, and then we have to save it. After that, what we have to do, in each ledger, we have to configure the interest rate and what is the process to and what method we have to take for calculation of interest. So for that, what we will do, we will press Control Enter on that ledger, and here you can see a new option, activate interest calculation, is showing. So we have to make it yes. After that, it will ask include the transaction date for interest calculation, whether if any amount is added on that also we have to that for added amount also we have to consider it for the calculation of interest, and for the same for the deducted amount also. So both options we have to make it yes, and then we have to enter the rate of interest applicable for that party, for that particular ledger. After giving the rate of interest, we have to select whether the for which interest style will be there, whether it is for 30 days per month, or 365 days in a year, or for a calendar month or calendar year, better to select 365 days in a year. And then we have to select the balance, on which balance we want to charge the interest. So it should be all balances. And then we have to save the ledger. Same way, we have to alter all the existing ledger of unsecured loans or any other ledger where we want to do the interest calculation, and then you have to do the same configuration and make sure this rate of interest should be as per your requirement. Like you will be knowing how much interest you have to charge to someone or someone is charging to your business. Accordingly, you have to do this. Once this configuration is completed, now it comes at how we can see this report, how Tally will give us the interest calculation report. To see that report, we can go to this display mode report, and then we have to go to the statement of account, and then there is an option interest calculation. Here, there are two options, interest receivable and interest payable. We have to select interest payable, and then in any ledger, we go. Here you can see, if you select the ledger, it will show you the interest. Now, one thing we have to mark, it is showing the interest up to the last entry date. So if you want to check the interest amount up to 31st March, then what you have to do, you have to select the period here, and from period will be the beginning of the financial year, and to period will be up to the date you want to check the interest amount. So now you can see the value is coming 12,000. Okay, so what we are able to know, we are able to know that for Gautam, we have to pay 12,000 interest for 365 days. Okay, now let us come for Mr. C, where there was no opening balance, only there was a transaction, and from 7th January, we entered a transaction for Mr. C on 7th January, and for 84 days only, the amount has been charged. Okay, so this way what we can do, we can collect the interest amount from Tally report. Now, one by one, we can export this report in Excel. Just we have to press Alt E, and then we have to select current, and after configuring, we can just export it. Now for this webinar, what I have done, I have exported the details in an Excel sheet. Okay, let me show you. I have exported the data in this Excel sheet. So what is there? For each ledger, what is the ledger total interest amount? How much interest will be payable to that ledger? And what is the TDS amount? Like 10% TDS is applicable. So on 12,000, 1,200 will be the TDS amount. Balance will be carry forwarded to that party ledger. That way, I have just configured an Excel sheet. And this Excel sheet is a default template of Tally. How to get this Excel template, I will show you. Okay. So in order to import this Excel, what we have to do, we have to create a new company, or in not always new company. I am creating a new company for your reference. In your existing data, first of all, what you have to do, you have to go to this import. Inside import, you have to select manage, and then sample Excel file, and then for master and for transaction, there are two type of sample Excel. One by one, just you have to select and you have to export in your local computer. Okay. After exporting this, you have to fill the data, and after filling the data, what you have to do, you have to come to this import, and then first we will import the masters, then we will import the transactions. Okay. So for importing the master from Excel, we have to select this master, and then the file format, we have to select it as Excel because we are going to import it from Excel. Then we have to see where we have kept that XML, not XML, that Excel. So in my case, inside this working Excel folder, import Excel is a folder. Inside that, I have kept two Excel sheets which contains my data. So I have to copy the path. And then here I have to go on specify path, and then I have to just paste the path. After that, first we will select the ledger import Excel, and then we have to select the worksheet name as ledger. As it is a default template, so we are selecting it as default. And then type of master is ledger. We have to modify it with the new data, and it is asking whether we want to see the preview, and if you want to take the backup, you can make it yes. Now it is showing the total indirect expenses. Ledger count is 1, unsecured loan, ledger count is 8. So the complete ledger count is on my screen. What I have to do, I have to just click on import. Once I click on import, what I can see, all the ledgers are now created along with the group and all the details. Okay, the opening balances are also there, you can see. Wait. Now, after importing that masters, what we will do, we will import the transactions. To do that, on Gateway of Tally, we will select import and then transactions. Then again, file format will be Excel, and then we have to select the file, Excel file, and then as it is the worksheet name is accounting voucher, so I'm selecting that, and just we have to see the preview and we have to import. Now you can see all these entries are there on my screen. If I make enter, you can see this is the journal entry. Along with the narration, everything is perfect here. Okay, so this way we can automate our interest calculation, and after calculation of interest, we can just import the data into our Tally using default Excel to Tally feature. Someone is asking something. Sometimes Tally calculate double days on interest calculation. Any reason for that? No, you have to check your configurations, because that kind of error is not there in default Tally. It might be you are doing something wrong, or you can just follow the steps just that we have discussed right now. Can you please show the Excel file? Yes, after the end of this session, we will share the Excel file for your reference. Moving ahead to the next topic. The next topic is exception report. So in exception report, we will discuss one very common thing, that is sometimes what is happening, the closing stock you check in stock summary, that will show you a positive value, but there can be some day-wise negative stock. How to check that in Tally? For that, I am changing the company here, and then here I have selected another company where some stock items are there. You can see there are some stock items. Okay. Let us check any stock item that can be 10 rupee. This is a stock item that we have to check. So in closing balance, what we can see, there is a positive value for this stock items. Okay. If we want to check only the exception report from here, so we have to click on Control J, and then we have to select the negative stock item for exception report of stock item. So it will show you the all the negative values only. Okay. Now it might be possible that some of your stock is having positive value at the end of year, but within the year, within the financial year, at any day it can be negative. So how to check that? In order to check that kind of report, you have to go to this display more report and then analysis and verification. Inside analysis and verification, there is a button data analysis. Here you can get an option wait. Here verification of stock item will only be visible if in your features integrate accounts with inventory option is marked as yes. Let's suppose I am making it no and I am saving the features. So you can see inside verification tab, the second option verification of stock item is disabled for me. Why? Because I am not taking the stock item from my tally. But if you are taking your stock item analysis from your tally, then first of all you have to make sure in F11 features integrate account with inventory option should be yes, and then you have to make Control A to save that configuration. Inside that verification of stock item, in the right side, you can see there is a button F10 daily negative stock. If we click on this daily negative stock, then what Tally will do on daily basis, if any stock item is going negative, then it will show you the report. You can see a lot of items are there which might be showing closing as positive, but during the year on any day it is going negative. So from here we can get the complete list of that kind of stock item which are going negative on daily basis on any day. Okay, so this is how we can check that exception report related to stock item. Moving ahead to save view options in default Tally. So save view option is a very amazing option that Tally has given. So who are using TallyPrime, they might have used a save view option earlier. Today we will discuss how using save view we can automate a lot of reports. Okay. For that, what I'm doing is I'm opening two companies. One will be financial year 23-24. Another one company we will open financial year 24-25. So as today we are going to discuss year-end automations and all. So after the end of year or during audit, we have to compare the closing balance of previous year with the opening balance of current year. Correct? So for that, what we can do? So for that, what we can do? We have to select previous financial year. We have to make that company active here by clicking on that company name. And then we have to go to the trial balance. Here we can see the period for which the trial balance is available on our screen. And then we have to go to this configure F12 button. Inside configure, we have to make show opening balances and show transaction as yes. And then we have to press Control A to save the configuration. Correct. And then we have to press Alt F1 to show in details. Now on my screen, the previous year trial balance is there. What I want to do is I want to add a new column for the comparison. Okay. So the new column from which company I have to add? I have to add from the new company. And the financial year beginning will be 1/4/24 and the year end date will be 31st/3/25. And the type of value that I want to show is actual and the name of group, all group I want to check. Okay. Now here we can see the first column is showing me the complete group name, ledger name. The second column is showing me the opening balance sheet, not balance sheet, the opening balances, the debit and credit and closing balances of previous year. And the third part is showing me the opening debit credit and closing balance of current year. That is the new financial year. Okay. So how to do that comparison? Here you can see the closing balance of the previous financial year is just before the opening balance of current financial year. If you want to check ledger wise, this is the group wise. If you want to check ledger wise, you have to click on ledger wise. And now you can see, if I press home button, I will be on top of the screen. So the closing of previous financial year, the stock balance is not as same as the opening of my current financial year. So here there is a difference, correct? So this way we can compare a lot of things. Now here what I'm doing is I'm making some small changes in the data. Let's suppose I'm selecting this TDS ledger, TDS 20 financial year 23-24 asset. Okay. So in previous year, the ledger name was assets like this. I have just added a S and I'm closing the bracket and I'm saving it. So now you can see in previous financial year, in financial year 23-24, the data is coming on this line. Okay. The data is in this row, but the same ledger is there in another row for the current financial year 24-25. So while comparing the data, we found that there is a mistake in ledger name. So as the previous year is already an audited one, so I cannot touch that data. So what I am doing is for the current financial year, you can see this yellow bar. This is actually my cursor. So with the left navigation key, I'm going to the, with the right navigation key, I'm going to the right side of the screen. And here I have to press Control Enter. So if I'm pressing Control Enter there, then what is happening that TDS ledger is coming with the alteration window. And by pressing End key, I'm taking the cursor to the end last part. And I'm entering a S here. After giving the bracket, after matching both the ledger name, I'm just pressing Control A. So you can see now it is coming in the same line. So this way you can just compare your reports. You might be thinking that, okay, so what is save view in this? Okay, you might be thinking that. Now, again, I'm going to the group wise. What I'm doing is I'm saving this view and I'm making the report as compare 2 years closing and opening balances. It is asking me whether I want this as default report. Whenever I open the trial balance, should I get this report on my screen? No, I don't want to make it as default report, so I'm making it no. And then I'm giving this view for all companies, and then I'm saving this view. Now, whenever I open any company, again, I don't have to go to my trial balance. Again, I don't have to go to that configure, making the opening balance and transaction as yes, nothing required. Just I have to go to this Alt G, go to feature. And then here you can see the first tab will be, the first options will be related to your save view. What views you have saved. So here compare 2-year closing and opening balances, that option is coming. So I have to just press enter. So you can see using the save view, how the reports are getting automated. In one click only, any report for which you are going to save the configurations, after making the configurations, just you have to save the view, and then you just with the go to feature, you can load the template or you can select the template and the things will be automated. Apart from reconciliation on the screen by checking one on one, what you can do, you can just export this report in your Excel. I'm exporting it in my desktop with the name compare trial balance. You can see the data is here. Now for comparison, what we can do, we can compare this two column by giving a formula here, equals the closing, the difference between the closing and the opening. Okay. So this way you can just compare. So here you can see a lot of things. Some things will be related to they are non-balance sheet item, that are a PL item. So you have to ignore that. For that you can make filters in that group in this A column. After that you can see the differences in one click. Here all the differences are coming only for that either for expenses or income ledgers which are related to the PL trading and PL part. We have to ignore that. For that, just you can make the filter in Excel that you have to do at your own. Okay, so this is how you can use save view option. Apart from comparison of 2-year balances, a lot more are there in save view options. You can see I have created some filter of PL percentage wise. So what is this PL percentage wise? Let me show you. Whenever I open my profit and loss account, I want to see what is the gross profit percentage, what is the net profit percentage, what is the percentage of purchase, what is the percentage of expenses, like that. So for doing that, every time what I have to do, I have to go to this F2L configuration and then this show percentage option. I have to make it yes and I have to save the configuration. Now, if I go back by pressing escape key and again I come back to profit and loss account, then the view is not there. So what I can do is, once I have to configure this, the screen is configured, I have to go to this save view option. Here I can give any name like percentage wise PL. Do I want this report as the default report? So I can make it yes, and I have to just save it. Now by pressing escape, I went to the gateway of Tally. Now if I am coming back to gateway of if I'm coming back to profit and loss account, you can see this time the percentage is showing automatically. So this way you can use these options, save view options, and you can automate a lot of reports. I have made some more filters that some more configuration filters that I'm using in save view. Let me show you. Cash payment PL. In profit and loss, what are the entries where I have make the entries with a cash payment or with a cash entry in the payment vouchers. Okay. So I have selected this. It may take some time. You can see what are all the expenses that I have made in cash. If I press enter, you can see. If I go back, not only expenses, not only payment, what are all the sales entry that are in cash. If your data is large, it may take some time. So you have to wait for that. Can you show interest calculation part again? Okay, we will cover that part again. After this topic, we will cover it. Ankurji is asking, once job done, how to remove the view from saved view list? Sir, you can delete the saved view. I will show you how to delete that. As I am having a lot of entries in this company, so it is taking so much of time. So now you can see what are all the sales entry. It is coming here. What are all the entries are there in cash? So it will come here. Okay. So this way you can automate your reports with the save view option. One more thing you can do. You can go to display more report. Then you can select statement of accounts. You can select account book, and then you can go to your payment register. Inside payment register, you can select your period, and here also you can apply some filter. How? You can apply a filter, and after pressing Ctrl F or selecting that apply filter button, you can go to this advanced filter option, where you can give these things like voucher with ledger name containing cash, or voucher with ledger amount greater than 10,000. So what are all the vouchers are there which are having amount more than 10,000 will come automatically to your screen. Okay. And now we can save this view. And after saving this report, next time what we have to do, just from go to feature, we have to select our template, and then we can get the report in one click. Here, there are many use cases like payment to creditor. If we are making any payment entry to the creditor in normal course of business, this is not there that we do. Either the grouping is wrong, we have to check that whether our client has given the ledger in the correct group or not, because sorry, not payment. Actually, it should be payment from debtor. It's my mistake. It should be payment from debtor and receipt from creditor. It should be like that. Okay. Debtors having credit balance, that is negative balance if you want to see. So many filters you can make here, and you can get that report. Now I'm opening another one company to show you some more details. Here, some of your client can maintain their data in this way that I'm going to show you. I have opened a new company with a new use case. You can see there is a payment voucher, and here there is a ledger Gautam. In first line, we have made the payment of 8,000. In second line, the ledger is different. It is Pritham. Again, in the name of Gautam, we have made the payment of 3,000. So what we can see, the total is more than 10,000 to one person. Okay. Now, how to report this kind of things? How to get this kind of reports? Okay. What we can do? Simply go to your payment register or go to your depot. In my case, all the vouchers in this company are of payment only. In your case, it can be different vouchers. So just you have to apply filter where the voucher, you can look for advanced filter, where the voucher type name containing payment. So that only payment voucher will be there on your screen. Okay. So once the payment voucher is there on your screen, you have to press Alt F1 to get the detail. And then you have to export the current report in Excel. Now we will move to Excel automation. Payment report above 10,000. Like this, I'm going to save it on my desktop. We can see the Excel is there. Wait. Payment report above 10,000. Okay, so this is the Excel. Now, how to get that party-wise daily basis a certain amount in cash or something like that. How to do that in Excel? So for that, first of all, we will remove the unnecessary details, unnecessary columns or rows, whatever are there, we have to remove that. Here you can see some blank column or the credit amount is there, so we have to ignore that part. After removing the unnecessary data, what we have to do? We have to make a filter. What kind of filter? We have to take the cash and blank only in particulars column. In the second column, in B column, we have to filter the cash and the blank data only. After that, here in 5, you can see a different kind of arrow is coming. Here you can see when this arrow will come, then you have to press Shift and Control button along with the down navigation key to select till the down. Okay. After selecting all the data, you have to press Control G for go to feature in Excel. Then you have to select this spatial, Alt S. And then you have to select on visible cell only and you have to make it OK. That is the visible cell only you have selected. Now for deleting the rows, you have to press Control minus. So the blank and the cash rows are now deleted. Now you can see the date is coming missing here, the payment is missing here. While exporting from Tally, some rows can be missing. So what we have to do? We have to select the first column. We have to filter the blank only. And here, if I show you, like when we are seeing that data, it is showing as blank. There is no data, correct? But if I make a, if I type a formula is blank and I select this cell, you can see it is not saying it is blank. It is saying no, something is there, but actually there is no data. So how to rectify this? For rectification of this, what we can do, we have to select all the data by pressing Control A. Then again, we have to go to the go to feature by pressing Control G. And then we have to select spatial. And now here we have to select the blank. Wait. And I have to delete this. Wait. I have to select the column and I have to make it blank. And then I have to select the data type as general. And then I have to remove the filter. Okay. Now, I have to select all the data. I have to press Control G, go to select blank, and then I have to press equals, and then I have to select the cell above that cursor, and then I have to press Control Enter to autofill. For making the blanks autofill with the above data, we have to use this command. Now in the date column, as you can see, the format is not correct. So I have to select the A column from this A, and I have to press Shift, Control, and 3. So you can see the format is now correct. Now I have to select column A and column B. And I have to copy that to the new sheet. After copying both the columns in the new sheet, what we have to do? We have to go to this data and then we have to click on remove duplicate so that the duplicate dates and name will be removed. After that, what we want? Day wise total. So for Gautam, what is the day total? For other ledgers, what are the day total? Okay, that we will calculate here. For calculating that, we will use a formula sum if s. sum if as formula we will use here. And then it is asking for some range from where we want to select the range. So here in the first sheet, we have to select the debit amount column, comma, the criteria range 1. Our criteria range 1 is this particular party column, then comma. What is the criteria? The criteria is in the second sheet, that is this ledger name. Then again comma. Now we have to set the second criteria. The second criteria is date, and after selecting the date range, we have to select the date from the second sheet, and we have to close the bracket and we have to make it enter. Now, if I drag the formula, you can see it is showing the day total of all the dates for all the parties. Now, what report I was expecting? I was expecting that only those data will come where the ledger amount is more than 10,000 paid in cash, correct? So to do that, what we can do in our formula, we have to add a filter. Before adding the filter, we will just copy the formula again. And after this, in the initial, we will use a formula if. That is, if after this formula, comma, sorry, not comma, greater than 10,000. If the sum is greater than 10,000, then we have to show the value. Else, for making else, we are giving a comma. We are pasting the old formula again, comma. We want blank. For making blank, what we can do? We can give inverted comma twice, and then we have to close the bracket. Now, if I drag the formula, so you can see what is happening. So here, after making a filter, now what we will do? We will remove the blank. So on my screen, there is a report showing the list of ledger to which we have paid more than 10,000 or more than a said amount in a particular day. So this way we can calculate or we can get the report from our Excel. Is there any query till that? Up to this, is there any query? Okay, no queries. Let's move ahead. Now, closing stock percentage wise. Let us go to Tally. Let me close the other tab. Okay. Now, on my screen, there is a data where there are a lot of stock items. What I want that whatever stock item are there in my screen, in my Tally data, I want to know the GST tax rate, whether GST is applicable in that stock item or not. If applicable, what is the HSN code, what is the tax rate, and so on. In default Tally, if I want to check that, so somewhere in GST report, like if you go to display more report, you have to select GST report. Here GST rate setup. Here you can check all these kind of things. But the problem is the closing value and other things will not be there. So how to do that? How to check all these things along with the closing balances? How to do that? For that, what we have to do? We have to use Tally ODBC and Power Query, that is from Microsoft Excel. So in order to use Microsoft Excel Power Query, always remember you have to open your Tally with the administrator rights. What is that? Let me close Tally and reopen Tally with the administrator right. To open Tally with the admin right, you have to right click on the Tally icon and you have to select Run as Administrator. And then you have to select Yes. The Excel ODBC will only work if the Tally is opened with administrator rights. Okay. Now we have to open our company and we are minimizing all these things. I'm going to create a new Excel sheet here and making the name as percentage wise stock. Okay. Here in my Excel, I have to go to this data and then I have to select the get data from other sources and from ODBC. Now here, if you in your Excel sheet, if you are not able to get all these things, make sure your Excel is the version of Excel should be either 2019 or above. In 2016, 17 also it may work, but it's better to get the latest version of Excel to get the latest features and updated features. Okay. So for getting the data from ODBC, we have to go to this data tab. Inside data tab, there is an option get data. We have to select from other sources from ODBC. Now we have to select the Tally ODBC port and we have to click on OK. Here you can see the name of company is there and then Tally user. These are the tables of Tally. Okay, the Tally data tables are showing here. So what I have to do, I have to select stock item. If I click on item, stock item will come here. I have to select this. You can search on the top and then you have to click on transform data. Once you click on transform data, the Power Query window will open. And here what you can do, you can remove unnecessary columns. You can see if I scroll it to the right side, a lot of things are there. As of now, all these columns are not for our use. So what we can do, we can click on this choose column. After clicking there, we have to deselect all these things and we have to select the necessary things only. What are all the fields required? We want to select the name, the parent, and then closing balance, closing value, closing rate, then GST, whether applicable or not, then tax, IGST, CGST, SGST, then HSN. If you want description also, you can select that. After selecting your desired columns, you can click on OK. Now you can see the data is there on your screen. Now we have to make some changes in the data. What are the changes? We have to change the data type, like the closing value. What it is showing the numbers. Number can be decimal number if you are using alternate units and so on. Okay. The closing rate, it can be in decimal. HSN code, you can make it a decimal number or text, whatever you want. Okay. And the closing balance also, you have to make it decimal. Now the GST rate, you can make it as text for CGST, SGST, everything. If you are not doing this, you will get errors. So better to do all these configurations. After doing all this configuration, what do I have to do? I have to click on close and load. Once we click on close and load, you can see the complete data is in the table and we can see the complete report, the closing balance of the stock item, closing value, closing rate, HSN code, IGST, CGST, SGST, tax rate, everything is there. Whether GST is applicable or not, what is the parent group name, what is the stock item name, everything is there. So this is how you can use Power Query to check or to fetch the closing stock tax details, GST details. Okay, there are a lot of things that you can do with Tally, ODBC, and Excel Power Query. Is there any doubt regarding this particular topic? Okay, no queries are there. Let us move ahead. So now coming to the last topic of this session, financial statement. How we can automate our financial statement in Tally ODBC. To do that, what I will show you, first I will show you a ready template. Ready template means ready data I will show you. In my Excel working, I am having a financial statement using ODBC data. You can see from Tally, we are fetching the details of trial balance, closing trial balance. We are filtering the data. We are doing some workings. We are making the note numbers. Ignore this one. Then after note number, we are getting the notes. If we print that, you will get this kind of view. Okay. And then the balance sheet and the PL. Now, why this automation is needed? Why this automation is required? Friends, after collecting the data from our clients at our office, when we are finalizing the audit, when we are doing the things, first of all, we have, after doing all the Excel computation and everything, we have to share the data with our client for confirmation. That time, the client will say, no, we have to make some changes. After making the changes, when we see the data, some groups will be changed for some ledgers, some entries will be added, some entries will be deleted. A lot of things can be there. There will be a lot of changes in your trial balance, correct? So if you're doing the things manually, so what problem you will face? Again and again, you have to come to your Excel, you have to rectify your formula, you have to compare your tally and your Excel sheet, then only things will be finalized, correct? So today in this session, we will see how we can automate these things. And if any changes are there in your tally, we will see in live example, if we are making any changes after making the balance sheets, after making the financial, if any changes are there in tally, automatically our financials in Excel will get updated without doing anything. With just one refresh button, everything will be automated. Okay. So to do that, let us start with a new Excel sheet. As I told, if you want to connect Excel Power Query with your Tally ODBC, every time you have to open your Tally with the administrator right. So in our case, already we have opened our Tally with the administrator right. You might be thinking why this administrator right is needed. So let me show you. If I'm opening my Tally without administrator right, you can see that yes and no pop-up was not there this time when I opened this Tally. I'm opening this data. I'm minimizing everything and I'm creating a new Excel file. Now, to connect Tally ODBC, what we have to do, we have to go to this data. We have to click on get data. To collect the trial balance, closing balance, now we have to select this Microsoft Query Legacy. If you are not able to see this, you have to go to your files in your Excel. You have to go to options. Inside options, data. In your data tab, in Show Legacy Data Import Wizard, you will see an option, Microsoft Query. You have to check this and you have to make it okay. After doing that only, you will be able to see that Microsoft Query Legacy option. Okay. If I click here, you can see Tally ODBC port is not there. In my database, Tally ODBC option is not showing. Why? Because I have not opened my Tally with the administrator right. So for that reason, always we have to open our Tally with the administrator right. Now, whenever you are opening your Tally and the data is, you are having a lot of data in that particular company, so it may take some time to open and close, and you may waste some time in just opening and closing Tally. So better what to do, right click on your Tally icon, go to your properties, go to compatibility, and then click on run this program as an administrator. Inside compatibility, there is an option. Then you have to click on apply and OK. After this, whenever you open your Tally, automatically this yes and no option will come, asking the administrator right. and you will never skip this step. Okay. Now, select your company. After selecting your company, if you go to Excel, data, get data, legacy wizard, and Microsoft query. Now you can see this ODBC server is showing. You have to click on OK after selecting that. Now what we want from Tally? We want the closing trial balance, correct? So the trial balance details are there in ledger table. To get the ledger table, if you will scroll here, you may waste a lot of time. So better note the steps. 4 times, I repeat, 4 times you have to press L for ledger. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see the ledger is there. Now there is a plus icon here. You have to click on that. Now click anywhere inside this ledger table, and then you have to select $N for name. When you press $N, you will get the name, and you have to select the name, and you have to click here to pass the column in your query. After selecting the name, what we want? We want primary group, okay, for that ledger. So for selecting the primary group, we have to click on, or we have to press the key $_P. So primary group will come automatically. After that, we have to select the parent group, parent. So for parent, there is no shortcut. You have to select manually. But instead of doing that manually, again, one shortcut is there, not directly, indirect shortcut. You can press shift $, you can select the $, and then U for umbrella. Wait. Wait. My keyboard is hanged. Wait. Yes, $U. When you select $U, after $U, you can see parent is there. You have to select parent, and then you have to click here. And in last, we want closing balance. So for closing balance, $_C. Then closing balance will be there. You have to select that, and then you have to click on next, and then finish. It is asking where to import the data in existing worksheet or a new worksheet. I want it to be imported in the existing worksheet. So I have to make it OK. Now you can see wherever any expense or any asset will be there, it will show the negative balance. And for liabilities, it will show the credit balance. Okay, so we will rectify this because in notes, we cannot give the negative balances. Okay. So first of all, what we have to do, we have to filter the data. Wherever blank data is there, 0 is there, we have to ignore that part. So what we have to do, we have to go to this data part, data tab. Inside data, we have to click table range, from table range. When you click on table range, automatically Power Query screen will come. Here only you have to filter the closing balance, and you have to deselect null and 0, because we don't want the blank and 0. So we have to deselect that, and we have to click on OK. Now you can see everything is perfect. What we have to do, we have to click on close and load. If you see a drop down here, there is 2 options, close and load 2. Always select close and load. Just click on that. So what will happen when you click on that? Automatically a new sheet will be created. Okay. So the first original sheet, we have to rename that with a raw data or anything you want, you can give the name. And for the filtered one, we will give the name as filtered data. Okay. Now we have to make a working sheet. As I saw that there are some working that we have to do. We have to convert the negative values into positive. So all these things we will do in a working sheet. So let me first rename the sheet with working sheet like this. And here what will be there? The name will be there. Primary group will be there. Parent will be there. Closing balance will be there. And then note number will be there. And then note and parent name will be there. And then for making the negative balance as absolute, we want absolute values column. So these columns we have to make. Now what we have to do? The filter data, we have to copy from A2 cell to the end, and we have to copy the data from here to here. Why we have to copy? Why we cannot do all these things in that filter data only, here only? Friends, whenever there are some changes in your Tally, or whenever you are opening any other company in your Tally and this Excel is open, if you refresh your data by pressing right click and refresh, automatically it will fetch the data from the current Tally company. So in such case, you may lose your data. So in order to keep your data safe, not Tally data, this Excel worksheet I'm saying, okay. So in order to save your data, it's better to copy it in a new worksheet, and there we can do the working. Before starting the working, we will select all our data and we will convert it into table. So for converting into table, we have to press Ctrl L, and then we have to select my table has a header like name, parent group and all. And then we have to click on OK. Why we are selecting converting it into table? Because if after converting into table, if we are applying any formula, automatically it will be dragged to the last row. Okay. Now we have to give the node number, node and parent name, and absolute value. First of all, we will give the absolute value by applying the formula ABS, and then we have to select the number and press enter. So you can see automatically the data, the values will be dragged to the last. Okay. Now for node number, we will create another one tab with a name node number. Already I have a set of node number, so I will use that only. You can, as per your data group, you can maintain this node number once you configure. Every time you can just copy and paste the same thing. Okay, so node number is there. Now to check that node number, what we have to do? We have to use the lookup formula. So we will use VLOOKUP, and then what is the lookup? We have to look this parent name, comma. Then in the node number, what is the table array? This is table column A and column B, then comma. Where is our value? It is in node number B column. So the number is 2, comma 0. Press enter. So you can see automatically for indirect expenses, what was the node number? 18. So 18 indirect expenses. So likewise, automatically all the node number will be auto-filled. Okay. Now, in your trial balance, for all the group, there are certain names, but for profit and loss account, it is primary. The profit and loss account comes under primary group. So what we will do, we will copy the capital account group and we will paste that group here in profit and loss. Okay. Now to give the node and parent name, we will select the node number and we will select the parent name. So you can see there is no gap, nothing is there. It is not looking attractive. So to making it attractive, what we can do, after before selecting the parent, inside an inverted comma, if you want to give an space, you can add that. If you want to give a hyphen, you can add that like this. So it will come in this way. Okay. Now our working sheet is ready. Before making the financials, that is balance sheet and profit and loss account, we have to make the notes. For making the notes, what we will do, click anywhere in your data and then press Alt D P to insert the pivot table. Instead of using this, what you can do, instead of using this keyboard, you can just go to your insert tab and then you can click on pivot table. Okay. So same thing will come here. Then you have to click on next, and finish. So a new sheet with a pivot table is there. So what we have to do here, we will take the note number first, then the note and parent name, then names of the ledger, and then the absolute value. We have to take it under the values tab. Okay. So you can see our notes is almost ready. Now what we can do, we have to clean the data. We have to do the proper formatting. So you can see the total is coming twice here. So to remove that, I will select all the headers here. When this kind of arrow is coming, all the row headers are note numbers are selected. Now I have to right click and then there is an option subtotal note number. I have to deselect that. So you can see it has been removed. Now another one thing, here the total of this note is coming on the top. So how to remove that? There is an option when you click here in your pivot table. One design tab is there. In design tab, subtotal is there. So here you can select show all subtotal at bottom of group. So automatically it will come under bottom of that group. Okay. Now this total, I don't want that this total should come. So just right click, remove that subtotal. Now if it take a print, before taking the print, make it particulars and amount. Okay. If we take a printout of this one, so you can see a lot of blue lines are coming. Correct. A lot of blue lines are there. So we will remove these blue lines and we will make this more attractive. To remove the blue lines, go to that design tab. And in design tab, you please select this table design from here, the first one. So you can see that blue lines will be removed. Now I want to make the total with some theme color. I want it to come like this. I want to make it bold. I want to change the font color also. So whatever you want to do, you can do that. Okay. Now if we take a print, so you can see it is coming like this and it is perfect. What more we can do in formatting? We can select the note and parent name. We can make it bold. Okay. Another one thing we can do, if we take a print now, it is coming correct. But if we are going to page down, so you can see the particulars and amount that is missing here. The particulars and amount is not coming. Correct. So in order to do that, go to your page layout, select print title, and then rows to repeat on the top. In every page, which row you want to repeat, and then select this 3 and click on OK. Now if you will take a print and you will make the page down button, if you will select the next page, you can see that row is coming again and again. Okay. So this way our notes are ready. Moving ahead to the preparation of balance sheet. For balance sheet, first let me rename this notes. For balance sheet, I'm having a predefined template that I'm using here. I will share this template with you all. I'm selecting this template and note number and all I'm removing here. Okay. I'm removing all these things. I will show you how things will be automated, how automatically we will fetch all these things. Okay. I will show you. Okay. So now what we want our values from our nodes. Okay. From each group, for each group. To get that, what we have to do, we have to use sum if as formula. And then we have to go to our working sheet. And in working sheet, we have to choose this closing balance column because something will be negative, something will be positive, like that. After that, comma, what is the criteria? The criteria is from parent group to note number group, comma, sorry, not parent group to note number, only, wait. After selecting the note number, after selecting the closing balance, not note number, after selecting the closing balance, we have to select the parent group, then comma, balance sheet, this capital account and bracket close and enter. So you can see from our notes, where is the notes? Yes. Whatever value is there, whatever closing value is there, automatically that value will come here from your working sheet. Okay. Now what to do? Just copy and paste. Copy and paste. In assets also, copy and paste that. In our working sheet, you might be remember that I told that whatever asset and other PL balances are there, whatever debit balances are there, that is coming as negative balance. Okay. So in balance sheet, what we have to do in the formula, just we have to add that minus sign for asset group, and then we have to copy that formula again, and we have to paste it. Some differences are coming. Okay, wait.
Somebody has written that the total is missing in the table, row 23.
Row 23. Row number 23. Okay. Mistakenly, I have removed that formula. Thank you. While removing other things, mistakenly it was done. Now you can see the balance sheet total is correct. It is matched. Same way, now when we are using schedule 3 format, so we have to compare 2-year balances, correct? So first of all, you will open the previous financial year and you will follow these steps. Then you will open the second current financial year for which you are going to do the audit, and you will follow the same steps. After that, just you have to add one more column and you can get the year-wise comparison, first year and second year comparison. And if you want that percentage comparison also, then you can add a more column for that. That will be up to your use and up to your type, how you are maintaining the data. So this is how we can automate our financial statement from Tally ODBC to Excel Power Query. Same way we can complete the profit and loss part also, due to as time is not there. So I'm not covering the PL part here right now. If any questions are there, you please we can take the questions now.
Yeah, so sir, better to start from the Q&A.
Moving ahead to the query session, the first query is how to export XML files with closing balance. So now, if you want to export the XML file of masters along with the closing balance, then what you have to do? You have to go to your Tally. Here in Gateway of Tally, there is an option export. You have to click on that. Then you have to select masters. Under company data, there is an option masters. You have to click on that, or you can press enter with your keyboard. Now you have to go to this configure button. Here you have to select the type of master you want to export, whether it is just accounting master or inventory master, or you want to import all the masters. Okay, so here I am selecting all masters, and then we have to select this include dependent master as yes. You can do it by pressing enter key, and then there is an option export closing balance as opening balance. So make sure if you want to export the XML along with the closing balance of all the ledgers, then you have to mark this option as yes. After that, you can select the folder path where you want to save your XML. As of now, I am selecting my desktop, and the file name should be masters.xml. After doing this configurations, you have to press Ctrl A, and then you have to click on export. Once you click on export, it will take some seconds to export the complete XML file. Now you can see the file has been exported, and if I minimize everything, here is the master.xml file. Now you can just re-import in new company, and all the balances will come along with the opening balance. Now the second query, how to add saveview.tsf files received in chat box. So in chat box you have received a zip file. After unzipping that folder, you will receive these files, correct? So here one folder is there, save view reports. These are the reports that I have shared with you in the chat box. How to copy these files to your Tally? In order to copy all these files to your Tally, what you have to do, you have to select all files and you have to copy it by pressing Ctrl C, and then you have to minimize all the folders, and you have to right click on your Tally icon and you have to select open file location. In your Tally installed folder, there will be a folder config. Inside that folder, there will be another folder report views, and here you can see there are some save view files which I have created in my Tally. If these folders are not there in your Tally, what you have to do, in your default Tally installed folder, create a folder name with this name config, config. Inside that, create another folder report views. The spelling should be as it is, and then you have to paste all those files here. After pasting all those files here, if you go to your Tally and you press Ctrl and you press Alt G, you can see all these templates here, which are not predefined. Okay, this one, creators having debit balance, all these things will be your template only. So the next query, what are this TSF file, where to get these files in TallyPrime? So as I told, I have covered this part also. TSF files are just temporary saved files. So in order to get all these files, you have to right click on your Tally icon, you have to click on open file location, and then there will be a folder config, report views, and all these files will be kept here.
People who are asking for the recording of this session, we will upload in our CA community, the WhatsApp groups. I have shared the link for that as well. Even the YouTube playlist where we upload the CA Connect videos. And Gautam ji, just actually your Zoom screen is also visible. If you can minimize that. If you.
Okay, wait. Yes.
Again, this also, the audio video also, if you can minimize. Yeah. Now, if you can open the Q&A.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you can see the first question.
Wait, let me first
You see, there's
stop
a
sharing my screen. Let me
yeah,
first stop sharing my screen and let us come to Q&A.
yeah.
Yes.
And Gautam ji, if you can share the Excel file in the chat, that
Yes,
will
yes, yes. Excel file and the save view templates, everything I will share so that everyone can use that in their offices.
So
I
would
will
you
share that.
yeah, you'll share in the chat itself?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that people will, because we'll have to give them 5 minutes time also so that everybody can download it. So that way, yeah.
Just I have added a zip file, so everyone can use that one.
I'm not able to see it in the chat.
Yes, yes, it is uploading.
Okay, okay.
I have added a zip file.
Yeah, it has come. Yes. Gautam ji, you have sent it to host and panelist only. If you can,
Okay, in Q&A,
yeah, you
where?
have to make it to everyone and then upload it.
Okay.
Just where you can see now two
Yes, yes,
host.
yes, 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 yes. I have done that.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, it has come.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you can see in the chat, sir has uploaded a webinar template.zip file. So you please download it so that, yeah. So sir, better if we can start with the Q&A.
Yes. The first question is, can we import with the closing balances? I think it is for that XML import and export, the first use case that I have shown. So yes, when you are selecting that dependent masters, let me share my screen again. Okay.
Actually done with the time actually. So let's, yeah. Yeah. So Gautamji, what I'm saying, the questions related to repeat the queries or something that has been covered, let's not address those. If you can
Okay.
quickly go through the Q&As and see if some queries can be taken up because it's already 4:30. Yeah.
Okay. 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 Someone is asking, can we import purchase entry from Tally? Yes, obviously, after 3.0, options are there. You can simply import all your purchase, sales, anything you can import. While importing it, accept only XML file. Excel is not accepted. No, Mayank Modi's question was there. So while importing, you can import from XML as well as Excel. If you are using Tally latest version, then you will get that Excel option. Okay. Someone is asking that for interest working for all ledger, can we export it once? No, in once for that particular interest calculation, there is no such option. So you have to do it one by one only. But after exporting one by one, for re-importing the transactions or the journal entries, you can use Excel to Tally. That will be very useful. Sir, how did you enable cash and PL option in Save View? Sir, Karthik, our question was there, how I have enabled that cash PL option. So I have used that Save View option for that. I have added some filters on my screen. After adding that filter, I have used that Save View option in the right side of the screen in my Tally. So it will work. Please explain how to configure cash PL in Save. For configuring the cash PL in Save View, just here you have to add some filters where the voucher having ledger name cash, then you have to select or voucher having ledger ledger group name with fixed asset or anything you can give. Okay. Till which date is the summary getting populated? Kunal Saha is asking that till which date the summary getting populated in Excel via ODBC method. So there are two type of with two different type of method you can fetch the data. One is for the complete financial year, that is the last entry date. Another one method is for a particular period. So for that particular period, there are some tables that we have to select. So after selecting those tables, you can do get the data for a fixed period only. Can we export inward and outward stock summary through ODBC? No, inward and outward stock summary that we need to check. We will check and we will revert you over email. You can drop an email, Rahulji. Would you be able to share the recordings will be given? I think questions are repeated only, and most of the things are covered.
Yeah, so once again, I'll just say for the people asking for the recording, we will upload it in our CA community groups. Please put in because it takes 2 days to get it edited. We will upload it. Please put in the chat that you need the video so that group admins will share with you. Also, if you want to, if you're not part of the CA community and not a chartered accountant, you can still access these videos through our YouTube channel, Tally Solutions, under Tally CA Connect. And I've also put the link of the community. Once more time, I'll just put the YouTube playlist link where you can find all the videos of the Tally CA Connect. Okay, 1 second in the chat. Yeah. And thank you so much, Gautamji. It was a great session. So many compliments and so many requests for the views. And I'm sure as I introduced you as a new speaker at the forum, you're definitely not new to the audience because few comments were this key sir is amazing and genius and too many things.
No, this is lots of thanks to Tally for giving me this opportunity, and thanks to all the webinar participants also, because on
Yeah.
this Shivratri they have some time for some
Yeah,
learning
we
some new
had
skills and
450
all.
people joining in today, and we still have near to 300 people still with us. So definitely the session was supposed to be very useful, and with the financial statements, I'm sure this would be taken up by their staff and articles as well. So it would be a great learning for everyone. Thank you so much for your time.